Joined by the Sweet Science, breaking down boxing one punch at a time. I am here with the man behind the madness, the man that makes it all happen, Johnny Clark. Just ahead of his show Pivotal on 3rd of May on DAZN. Johnny, I want to ask you, how has been the preparation for the show and getting such a stacked show as well put together?
Really good, to be fair. Like, been a lot of pull-outs that no one knew about because the posters hadn't gone up yet. But the good thing is now I've built a brand, whereas even now I've got 6 boxers waiting to come on. Wow. Yeah, so Arjun Bassi actually pulled off after his fight on MVP, but I've got 6 boxers going to come on, and I'm just seeing if I can get Tiago matched in a good fight so I don't ruin the reputation he's got, because he's done a fight at Journeyman. If I can match him good, then he'll be the one replacing it. But it's been good. Like I said, I built a brand, people were begging to come on, and from top to bottom, I think it's the perfect card.
Just going on that, you said you've built the brand. I just want to touch on that. How has it been and how difficult is it to build such a brand where you're starting off on small hall shows, building yourself up, but you've got a plethora of great fighters? Yeah,
to be fair, it's been a struggle to build it, because there's times when I think, could anyone do this? Because really all I've done is pump loads of money into it. But then I think, nah, because the type of fights that I put together, the shows that have actually gone ahead, you know, when there's been a problem at the show, no one's known about it and I've solved it. Like, I am a good promoter, I am a good businessman, salesman, and I also am a good investor. So I ticked all the boxes. So there has been times when I doubted myself and thought, am I just someone who's chucking money at something? But I'm not, I'm more than that. I am a good promoter, and the brand now, it speaks for itself.
No, for sure, for sure. There's always good things being said about you from fighters when they talk to us about the show. And we've been to your show. We've seen the caliber of production, caliber of just the whole ambience of the show has just been excellent start to finish. For sometimes when I go to your shows, it doesn't even feel like a small hall show to me. No. It feels like a big show, because I'm like, wow, this is some good production. Does it take a lot of hard work and grit and even making mistakes to get to that level?
Well, I self-fund the show. So it's all from my pocket and my sponsor's pocket. The ticket sales, we use them to pay the opponents and get titles. So a lot of it is self-funded. So yeah, it takes a lot of hard grit, because not only am I working hard in boxing, I have to work hard elsewhere to get the money in for boxing. So that's where the hard work comes, is 24/7.
And that is a tough grind, you know, pumping your own funds into such a sport where, you know, it's brutal at this level. It's brutal, you know, people lose money and people just pack up and show. But it shows that you'll keep on going, you'll keep on pushing. Shows that what caliber promoter you are, and you should belong at the top. Hopefully you'll get there. Now I just want to touch on what you're just saying. We saw a video recently that you said, if you're not in any emails, quote unquote, say, if you're not in any emails or in any talks of being signed, you want to pack up boxing. Can we talk a bit more about that? What do you need? What is it that you want?
Yeah, so at the minute, the shows are minus £30,000. Oh, wow. Yeah, so what I need to come in is either a broadcast deal or 3 sponsors that want to come in with 10 grand each, you know, or 1, you know. But all I need is a little bit more support. So Pivotal, what I've done is I've toned it down a little bit, so there's not so many promo videos. The venue's still going to look the same, but I've just tried to tone down the build-ups and everything, just because it makes no sense, you know. Sometimes I spend £1,000 on a boxer and then he pulls out and I'm like, bloody hell, mate, like, your promo's just gone, your poster's just gone, we've just done all these reels on you, I paid everyone to edit you, and then now you're gone. Not for his fault, but when you keeps happening 4 or 5 times a show, that's £5,000 gone. Like, wow. So this Pivotal was about toning it down a tiny bit, only a tiny bit. And then if by December the 31st, if I'm not signed, then I'll be doing shows like Steve Goodwin and the others do, just toning it down. It won't be called Top Tier, because Top Tier brand is big-headed, ego, you know, you want to be the best and all that, you can't then come down. So it'll be a whole new setup. It'll be only putting my managed fighters on inline, and we've just been hiring halls, putting a ring in it and getting them fights, you know, and getting them in positions to be main event on TM14 show or something like that. That'll be the new business model. I won't stop promoting, it'll just be at that level. But what I need is backing to keep these shows alive, because I know I'm a feeder, and I know I keep the big boys happy when they drop boys down to me, because having 2 Queensbury lads on it, I've had Wasserman lads, I've had Matchroom lads, and just because they trust what I do with them, even though one of them got beat, but they still got looked after, treated well, and their stock risen.
Yeah, well, a good example of feeding the big boys. Recently, one of your top fighters, Konstantin Ursu, a British champion now at welterweight, I believe. Yeah, he's gone to Queensbury, so it shows that what you can do. You can feed these guys, and if you don't have promotions like you guys building these guys up from grassroots or from the bottom, there won't be the next top stars basically. So it's great work what you're doing and whatnot, and obviously you need to push for them sponsors, you need to push for that funding. And the thing is, you're doing such a great job with a lot of things regarding boxing, putting on 50-50 fights. First of all, there's not many shows that have such 50-50 fights as well as that production. I just want to ask quickly, why is it that you put on 50-50 fights?
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
So when I come into boxing, I didn't know a thing about journeyman. I was like, what, you're paying to win? I was like, no, we can't do that. I said, like, that costs money. I said, but if we've got someone fighting someone and you're both paying no one, then everyone earns, yeah? And you feel better about that. Like, you're paying to win. I hated it. I couldn't stand it. And then when I found out there's not many boxers that actually want to box the non-journeyman, and then it become a struggle. And then where I kept pushing and putting the brand out, being on the zone, having the big wallcats, all the promo videos, and that, you can't do all that and then pay someone to go down or not go down or not hit you. It doesn't make sense, does it? So that was where the brand come around. I just didn't know journeyman, and I didn't want journeyman. But then that's not disrespect to them, because they've saved my show. I've had a big ticket seller come on, then his opponent's dropped out, and I've had to get a journeyman in to save the show. And listen, it was worth every penny. But I like journeymen that come to win. And I've seen a lot of journeymen winning lately, and I think, well, serves the geezer right. He tried to pay for a win. Journeyman was better than him. He beat him, and now you look silly.
Yeah, that is boxing for you. But obviously, journeymen are very important for the sport. But one thing that you did forget there, you do put on a spectacle for us fans, for our spectators as well, when you're doing 50-50 fights. There's no pushover fights or whatnot. And I'm sure every boxing fan out there that will tune in and watch that fight and is at that venue will appreciate all of that. Now, let's move on to the show. I just want to wrap it up. What fight can you tell me is going to stand out the most?
I think Musa versus Taiwu. When I looked at them here. Both are very confident, similar records, and I just believe that it's a banger, and there's nothing on the line for it. It's 117, so not even championship weight. They're both coming to get to the next level, and this fight is the one before that fight. And so whoever wins this will go on and fight for a title next, I believe.
Wow. Yeah. Cool. And you didn't even mention the main event. What do you think about that?
Yeah, just the obvious one's always the main event, but then always the fight of the night is kind of a little bit down on the card. But the main event's got a bit of spice in it. I heard a little bit of back and forth on the interviews. A lot on the line for him. Yeah. But I think if the Yaz turns up, that one I know can, and two that he knows can from sparring, then it should be a good night work for him. But I think, if I'm being honest, I think Taiwu and Moya, their fight is a lot closer than the main event.
Yeah, well, see, we got a main event and we got a tasty fixture on there between the super middleweight. Johnny, thank you very much for your time and your words, and hopefully your hard work will pay off soon, and we see you signed by the end of the year, because I want to keep coming.
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you, there's no doubt in my mind that I will be signed. I know why I said it is because if you just sit there, if you're in a club, right, and you're not talking to any girls, they're never going to come up to you.
That's true.
If you ain't a looker, yeah.
You don't ask, you don't get.
If you go up to her and talk to her, there's a chance. Yeah. So I never said anything about being signed. Everyone thought I'm with the Zone. I never spoke to any sponsors. Everyone that sponsors me comes to me. So now what I'm getting at is I'm in every DM. So I'm emailing them. I will get that girl, aka the sponsor or the deal. I am just on them, and I won't let anyone stop. And I've invested 100% more money this year than I did last year, because I said if I quit on December the 31st, I would have known that I'd give it a good go. So if I said I'm going to get signed or whatever and I didn't do anything about it, I'd be a fool. I'd be big-headed. And if you sit in a nightclub and not even try and take a girl, then you ain't going to get her unless you're unbelievably good looking, and I ain't.
Do you know what? Just a quick question that's just come to my head, and you've said this point. If there is a sponsor out there right now looking at this interview or seeing this interview, what can they expect from Johnny Clark and Top Tier? Yeah,
well, when you sponsor a smaller show, you get more of a say. So the big shows have many big sponsors just because they are a big boy and they're seen everywhere. But when you come and support someone like me, you're keeping boxing alive. You're keeping me in boxing. Not only that, the fight cards that you see, this next card is better than a Netflix card last night. Yeah, not with the names. The names are unbelievable. Tyson Fury, Conor Benn. But I'm telling you now, pick them 2 fights and put that against my main event. And let's just say, I'll even do Kevin Revell versus Brad Axe. Put them 2 fights against them 2, and you'll see the outcome. Whose show was better?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why you should support.
That's why you've got to tune in on the 3rd of May. Johnny, once again, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Cool. Can we just get